Alec Balwin accused of extremely reckless acts in Rust killing. Alec Balwin and the former armor on the film Rust has been charged with involuntary manslaughter in the fatal shooting of the film cinematographer. According to court papers filed in the First Judicial District Court in New Mexico, prosecutors accused Baldwin of not receiving sufficient firearm training, failing to handle safety complaints, putting his finger on the trigger of a real firearm instead of a replica, and pointing the firearm at the cinematographer and director. Armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed was accused of not checking the rounds she loaded the firearms into, allowing the rounds of the set, on the set, allowing ammunition to not be secured, failing to stay with the firearm, and not being qualified for the armor position. Baldwin has long maintained he is not responsible for the fatal shooting. Prosecutors told Baldwin was culpable for not checking. He was also culpable for not checking the gun or ensuring someone else did, and for not attending firearm safety training. Vinny.
So, but mind you, I was always a fan of Alec Baldwin from Hunter Red October and just all the movies and everything, but this guy showed his true colors, even before Trump, but then during like all the incidents that he got into in front of his house in Manhattan with all the, yelling at, try to yell and like get confrontational with women to all that stuff. This is just a prime case of just the narcissist and the hypocrite. This guy went after the NRA, talking all this crap about guns and nobody, all these people that are having guns. Bro, the number one rule with guns is what you guys know, right? Always treat it as if it's loaded, 100%. He would have known this if he went to the training, because by the way, he didn't show up. Okay, to the actual required firearm training, which, Mr. Hypocrite guy. When he showed up, he was distracted, talking on his cell phone. Prosecutors say there's a photo of him, Pat, finger on the trigger, acting like, like a moron, like trying to point at people and stuff. And like I said, if he went to the training, that's the problem with all these people that are anti-gun and stuff, that hate guns, Tom. If you're trained on it, less accidents like this happen. God forbid, and God rest the souls of the people that passed away. But it's always the pot calling the kettle black. All the ones that bark and look at this, look at that. Like, you're the ones that are actually the idiots. You know what I mean? Like, he's the moron. And if he paid attention and actually did the training, which I think the majority of Americans should have some basic training, because if God forbid you have to have a gun in your hand, none of this type of shit would happen.
This has been going on for a long time. And so the prosecutors had a time to talk to everybody. And some of this language that I see from the prosecutor, we're in the insurance industry. Well, three of us here. Adam, you are. Pat, you are. Does some of this language look kind of like the thing that an adjuster or loss control would be saying? Because remember, there's insurance on that set that's going to have to cover,
of course,
the loss. That's going to cover the loss of life. There's insurance on there to cover lawsuits for injuries on set. There's huge. We have insurance. When Valuetainment goes off and does a field shoot, we have insurance certificate. Not attending firearm safety training, failing to handle safety complaints. And, all of this to me sounds like there's an investigation that's done here. And what happened on that set was a terrible accident and tragedy. And it can be an accident and a tragedy, but it doesn't take away from the place. It doesn't look like that they did the appropriate, safety routine. And if you've ever gone and had gun training, and I have, when you're standing there side by side with someone who's teaching you about maybe a pistol you're thinking of buying, and you go to a firing range, they always say, down and away, down and away. Yeah. So you point it down and away, and he says, when I hand it to you, you look. And so he says, and he goes, and then he'll say, that's loaded, look. And so I look. And that's always what they teach you, so that when you receive a firearm, it's what they did in the military, Pat, right? Don't assume what the guy just told you is correct. Down and away and look. Oh. And I think, sorry, dude, Baldwin, if there's pictures of you fooling around there and you didn't do the safety training, you're culpable. It's a terrible tragedy. You can call it an accident, but you're culpable, dude.
When you say culpable, I guess we'll see what happens here. Like, I don't think anybody thinks that he is going to be. He's not going to
go to jail.
He didn't want to murder this person. Let's get real here. It was not first, second, third degree murder. I don't know if manslaughter is going to be the charge, but I think we're losing sight. This lady lost her life, innocent lady. Why is the gun even loaded to begin with real bullets? What the hell's that all about? And then his defense of like, I didn't pull the trigger. It's like, I don't know how that works, whatever that defense is. But at the end of the day, this is a really sad situation. I think he's going to lose some sort of civil lawsuit, have to pay the family a ton of money. I don't see Alec Baldwin, A-list Hollywood actor, going to jail
definitely
at all.
No, definitely.
No.
So I think that's the bottom line.
No, yeah, 100%. But it just goes. It goes to show you though, gun like any gun on set. Could you mind you? And as being in Hollywood, being on a set, even when they would give you a gun at him, and I'm an ex-military cop. Always away, never. And dude, I'm pretty sure every guy, we all know this. If you got a fake gun that you think is not loaded, you're doing quick draw McGraw. You're acting like a cowboy, and then boom, and then you.
Cool.
Tragic, but it could have been avoided.
To your point, Adam, that's what I call it. I said it's a terrible tragedy, and a tragedy that came out of an accident, but it was an avoidable accident. And on set, the culpability goes to he's not going to go to jail, but there's insurance here, and there's settlements, and there's things like that. Kind of the ugly side of this, and it doesn't bring back a gifted filmmaker.
It's unfortunate. Look, I don't care if the person is agrees with me, disagrees with me. We're on the same page. We're not on the same page. You're on the team. You're not on the team. Nobody wants to see a story like this because an innocent person was killed on the set, and this guy's life is ruined. I mean, Alec messed up his life for being arrogant, foolish, and not being responsible for it. It's just something that it happens to everybody, but there isn't anything that's a higher level than this. You took someone's life. So, how much of that responsibility is on him? How much of the responsibility on the other guy? Why the hell do you have a real weapon, loaded weapon on the set anyways? Like, as an actor, I'm assuming the actor's already thinking about doing their part, their role. Like, what else you want me to also... So, I don't know. Maybe the funding, they didn't have enough funding for it. They were too cheap in that area that they didn't want to make that investment. Who knows? But you're dealing with an A-lister. So, anyways, what are you doing taking a movie? I don't know what Alec Baldwin is worth. Why are you taking, how much money were they paying you to be on a set that's being cheap about it? There's so many questions I have, but it's not my job. It's the jury's and the judge's job to make that decision.
Did they finish the movie, Pat? Do you know if they actually went forward with the movie?
First
That's
of all,
a great question.
imagine that movie.
Oh my God.
This is the movie. Would you want to go watch the movie? Like maybe, it's like one of those.
I don't know, dude. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The filming resume. Yeah, they're going to resume.
They're doing it.
Dude, what a awkward, because mind you, bro, if there's guns in that scene, there's guns throughout the whole damn movie. It's like I wouldn't, I'd be like, if nobody even touched this gun. We're going to put like a fake gun in your hand. We don't want anybody pointing or doing anything.
Well, let's listen. This is, again, we'll see what happened here. At this point, it's the chance, like Adam says, the chance of somebody like him, an A-lister, going to jail.
Not gonna
like
happen.
Kevin Spacey, you're seeing that stuff. It's probably not likely. He'll have to pay, but we'll see what happens next.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.